Guys, let me tell you, when I was 16, I was stupid. Okay? I was a dumb. I knew nothing about life. Okay? Back then, if I was actually smart, I probably would have skipped college and just started a YouTube channel at 18. Who knows? Maybe I will be damn near retired by now. But you live and you learn. Okay? But no doubt in my mind, when I was 16, I was stupid. And I consider myself to be a decently intelligent person, right? Not the most intelligent person in the world, but a decently intelligent person. So when I see stories like this where the squad member, Ayanna Pressley, is saying that she is shocked that lowering the voting age to 16 is a polarizing issue, it's an interesting topic, right? And I don't understand why she would be shocked about something like this if she actually lived in the real world, which maybe she has, maybe she hasn't, right? So let's talk about why she thinks that 16-year-olds should be able to vote. Representative Ayanna Pressley, a Democrat of Massachusetts, on Thursday said that she was shocked that lowering the legal voting age to 16 is a polarizing subject of debate. Pressley, a co-sponsor of a resolution to H.R. 1 that aims to lower the voting age to 16, made the comment on Thursday during a Facebook Live conversation with Representative Barbara Lee, Democrat of California, and author Ibram Kendi. Dr. Kendi, I was shocked by how polarizing an issue this was. And listen, when I would tell people the late Rep. John Lewis is an original co-sponsor of this, our young people deserve to have a stakeholder in our democracy. Pressley, a member of the so-called squad, said in response to Kendi, who said lowering the voting age is an example of an anti-racist policy. Jesus Christ, man. These people look at everything out of the lens of race. Seriously. I mean, that's their lives are based off of. But Kendi responded by saying that one of the areas of discussion he has touched on frequently is the disenfranchisement of Black and brown Americans. Young Black and brown folks in particular are facing the brunt of disenfranchisement, he said. And when the younger generations are more predominantly Black and brown, it sort of leads to a greater level of disenfranchisement. Kendi continued, anything that can ensure younger people can vote, the younger, the better, is going to allow more Black and brown folks to vote and thereby bring a greater sense of multiracial democracy to this country. Right. So your argument here is essentially that because you believe there's more Black and brown people, young people in particular, that's a reason why we should lower it to 16 so that more Black and brown people should have more representation in democracy. Is there not white people who are 16 years old as well too in this country, right? Who are young people who could vote as well, right? Like, are you sure that this experiment is going to get the results that you guys want? I'm not sure. But we do know that most young people tend to be more liberal because, they're inexperienced in life. And as people get older, they tend to get more conservative. That's just how it is. And I think that's really the crux of what they really want here. Republican opponents of a policy that would lower the voting age to 16 argue that the move would guarantee more votes for Democrats because younger people lean left. Exactly. According to a 2008 study from Pew Research that found Democrats have a 27 percentage point advantage among millennial voters. Now, I will say about this, the Republicans at some point are going to have to address this, right? Like this is something that's going to need to be addressed in the next 10, 20, 30 years. Now, I know that as people get older, like I said, they tend to become more conservative. But I think that definition of conservative is probably going to be what the current day moderate is, right? And I think that's something that the Republican Party and the conservative movement is going to have to deal with in the future is how left a lot of these young people are, right? Pressley first introduced H.J. Resolution 23, her first proposed legislation as a congresswoman in 2019. The resolution failed after getting 26 House votes on March 18th, 2019. Quote, beginning at the age of 16, young people are contributing to both the labor force and their local economies by paying income taxes, and yet they are deprived of the opportunity to exercise their right to vote, Pressley said on the House floor at the time. Quote, in this country, we affirm that when a person walks into the voting booth and pulls that level, there is no meritocracy or hierarchy. The booth is the equalizer. All right, so I actually tend to agree with that statement, and I think that's a much stronger argument for lowering the voting age to 16 than the whole race thing. But, you know, I still don't necessarily agree with lowering the voting age to 16 at all. And the reason why is because, again, as I get older, the more I start to realize that there's a lot of life that even somebody like me who's in their mid-20s has not lived yet. There's so many things that I don't know. There's so much more wisdom to be gained. And as I start to get older, I start to take a more of a Socrates approach to democracy, which is that voting is a skill, right? And this skill can only be acquired through being informed, right? And a part of being informed is gaining more wisdom. The way to gain more wisdom is to basically live life, right? To have experiences and to be in the working class, pay taxes, okay? To have experienced and lived through multiple governments, owning your own home, paying bills, having kids, right? Things of that nature. Experiences that are going to add wisdom to you, right? That are going to make you more informed, right? As a citizen. At 16, I didn't have that, right? Again, one of the signs that I was stupid at 16 is that I wanted to be a grown up. I was like, I can't wait till I'm 18. I can't wait till I go to college. I can't wait to get a job. And then lo and behold, when I become an adult, I'm like, damn, I wish I was a child again. All this responsibility. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how it is. Guys, I already told you, you know, when I was in high school, you know, I watched a lot of Fox News because I just thought it was entertaining. I watched a lot of Fox News. I mean, Greta Van Susteren, that was my girl, okay? Sean Hannity, that was my guy. And Bill O'Reilly, that was my guy as well, okay? I knew the whole lineup, right? So when I was working, right, at a grocery store, cleaning bathrooms, and when I got my first check, boy, when they took out them taxes, right, with my little $150 check, making $7.25 an hour, I was pissed, okay? I was like, this is theft. Taxation is theft, okay? I'm not getting no benefits from the government for working, okay? Right? And, you know, as you get older, right, and you start to make more money, right? And as you start making more money, you start to pay more taxes. You start to realize, like, damn, I'm paying all these taxes. I'm working 40 hours a week. You know, I'm paying all these bills. And it seems like the government is doing nothing but taking my taxes and giving them to people that don't even pay taxes. I'm gonna tell you, that message hit hard, right? When you really in the workforce, right? You start to be like, oh, these people on Fox News, that was actually right? And that's why I got back to my roots, right? When I was in, you know, after college, because in college they liberalize you a bit, right? So I definitely have took on a lot more liberal viewpoints on life just going through college. I mean, it's inevitable, right? When you go to college, but you know, once you actually get back in the real world again, I'm like, damn, yeah, my guy Bill, he was on point about a lot of this stuff, right? When it comes to taxes and stuff. So it's just funny, man. And again, in my opinion, when I was 16, guys, I was stupid, right? So when you have certain Democrats wanting to lower the voting age to 16, it just goes to affirm how much they want to rely on uneducated people and people who haven't actually had real life experiences in order to push their agenda, right? And it's really funny how that works. And that's one of the reasons why I'm always very skeptical of voting for Democrats, is just how much they rely on people who have a lack of life experience to vote, right? At 16, I don't even think you can sign a contract. In some states, I don't even think you can drive, you can't drink, you can't join the military, right? There's a lot of things that you can't do at the age of 16, but you want to be able to vote. You want to be able to decide who is going to lead our governments at 16. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. So I'm definitely not on board with this at all. Would I be on board with raising the voting age? Again, the older I get, the more I kind of tend to agree with that argument a little bit, right? Obviously, I think it probably should stay at 18, but if somebody said let's raise the voting age to 30, I'd be like, hey, you know what? Even being in my mid 20s, I'm not even sure, to a certain extent, I've lived enough life to be able to make truly informed decisions about voting. But that's why I try to educate myself as much as possible, pay attention to politics as much as possible, so that I am, as educated as possible and be able to make informed decisions. Try to gain that wisdom from other people. But it is an interesting debate. And I want to hear you guys' opinions on this. Do you guys think that the voting age should be lowered to 16, right? If not, do you think that it should be raised? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share it. A Black conservative perspective. Peace.